What's going on, guys? King Henry here. Today we are going to fix the analog stick for the DualShock 4. If you are playing any shooters, you know what I mean. When you're playing Call of Duty or whatever, and you try to run with the left analog stick, it won't let you. It's like a glitch or a drift or whatever it is. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but I'm going to show you guys how to fix that. So the first thing you want to do is make sure your controller is off, and you'll want to get this screwdriver. I think it's a 2.4 or 2.0. I will post the size of the screwdriver in the description if I figure it out. So you turn off the DualShock 4 by pressing the reset button on the back of it, or using just going to the PS4 menu and turn it off there. So let's do this. So there's four screws on the back of the controller. You're gonna want to unscrew those. I will come back once I get all four out. Okay guys, I'm back and I got all four out. Make sure you put these screws in a safe place so you don't lose them. So the next part, you're going to want to take off the shell of the controller. And this part is kind of hard to do because sometimes the buttons or some of the small parts might fall out. But just be gentle. Don't force it to come off, because there's a ribbon that you have to I'll show you guys. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay guys, let's try it. Just do what I do. Just use your thumbs to pop it up. Go. Now there's a ribbon right there. You're gonna wanna pull this out, and you're gonna take off the back shell of the controller. My trigger button just fell off, but it's easy to put back on. I'm gonna just put this to the side for now. So next, you're gonna want to take out the battery, which is pretty easy to do. Just take out this little piece right here, and the battery will come out. Just put this to the side. Now there's another screw that you have to take out. You can use the same screwdriver, it don't matter. The same size screw. Just take that out. Okay. Make sure you put this screw in a safe place. Take off this back piece. Put it to the side. Now you have access to the mother or the chip of the controller. Now you're gonna want to take out the actually there's a ribbon right here, and that's for the light bar, for the front light bar. You're gonna want to you could use your fingers to pull this out, but I like to use a little tweezers or whatever to pull that out. If you have like big fingers like I do, you're gonna want to get some little tweezers or whatever to pull that out. That's what I do, because my fingers are way too big for this little ribbon to pull out. So just take it out that way. Also, don't rip it out. Just like jiggle it out a little bit. So take out the chip. Trying to show you guys. Just it comes right off. There you go. And now put your front shell somewhere safe. Now you're gonna want to make sure you take off this touchpad off. Gonna want to put this little ribbon um, through that hole and put the touchpad somewhere safe. Next, turn around the thing. Pop off the analog sticks. Put them in a safe place. Now for this part, you're gonna want to get what I use is a flathead screwdriver, a 2.4 or 2.0. I'm not sure what size it is, but it's the same size as the star head or whatever. But I want to get a small flathead. Let me get that right now. A small flathead. And you're gonna want to pop off these green. I'm not sure what they're called, but pop off these green things right here. These little green little notches or whatever it's going to be called. Take those out. Well, do one at a time. Don't do them both. So inside these green things are like these small sensors, and we are going to have to clean inside these little small holes. So you could use the screwdriver to take out this this white thing, this sensor. Just be careful, because there's some metal parts on the back of it, and if you bend them, then the analog stick will get even worse. So just take out this white thing, put it in a safe place. There's these metal binds or whatever it's called on the back of it. Make sure you don't bend them, because it will make your controller way worse. Because my first time doing this, I tried it and I bent this, and whenever I play the game, when I try to play the game, whenever I go up on the dashboard, it goes back down by itself. So don't make sure you don't bend these. Yeah, you guys can't see that. This camera sucks. But anyway, don't. There's a metal part right there. Don't bend them. So just put this sensor in a safe place. So now, right here, this little hole, you're gonna want to get some Q-tips. Now you could wet the Q-tip with alcohol or water. I used water the last time, and this totally fixed my controller. So it don't matter what you use. I use water, but make sure you don't make the Q-tip too wet, because it might wet the chip right here. So I'm gonna go get a Q-tip and show you guys how to do this. Okay guys, I got my Q-tip. Like I said before, you could use water or you could use alcohol. It don't matter what you use. So you're gonna want to take the Q-tip and just clean inside this right here. Just wiggle it in there. Just clean the side there, and yeah, just try to clean it the best you can. Make sure your Q-tip is not that wet, because you don't want to get the chip wet right here. You don't want to get this wet. So just clean that off. Now you're gonna want to put this where is it at? Here we go, a flathead. You're gonna want to put that little sensor back in there. It's gonna kind of tough to put that back in here. Guys, I do not have the best setup for this, but I'm going to try. I'll just put that back in there. You could use the flathead to fix it inside that hole. Also, there's these little two dots at the bottom. Make sure those two dots are at the bottom of this hole. Don't make sure it's not on the top. Okay, let's put that back in there. So you can use the flathead to put that in there. It makes everything much easier for you. Okay, now that you have that back in there, you close the green thing. If this green part don't closes, that means you have the sensor the wrong way. So just make sure those two small dots are at the bottom. So you could close this green little piece. There you go. Now we're going to have to do the other sensor. Take this one out and do the exact same thing. Check that out. Put it to the side. Get your Q-tip and just wipe inside there. So I saw I had maybe 5 DualShock 4s, and they all did the exact same thing. Like I never had a good analog, I never had a good controller where it did not mess up on me. So you put that sensor back in there, and I watched so many videos on how to fix this, and I saw one that works, so I decided to just make my own video about it, and hopefully it works for you guys. I know my camera setup is not that bad, not that good, but I'm trying. So put that sensor back in there and close this green piece. We are focusing on the left analog stick because this is the one that you use the most to run and shooters. You could clean the other one too, but I'm not going to do that because that's not the main importance of this video. So the next step is to put the controller back together. That's an easy process. Just make sure this, sorry guys, make sure this chip is snugged in there. My trigger button fell off. Put that back on. It's an easy process. Okay, come on. This whole video could be a mess, or it could actually help somebody. Come on, let's go back in there, please. Oh, come on. My first time doing this, everything worked out perfectly. Everything went back on with no problem. But as soon as I hit the record button, it wants to mess with me. Come on, what the hell? Okay. There we go. So now we could put the analog sticks back on. Okay. I know this video is pretty long, but I'm trying to do everything raw. I don't want to skip anything too much. So we got all the stuff back on here. Now we could put this piece back onto the front shell, which is pretty easy. First, well, my touchpad fell off, so I have to put that back on there. Let me put this back on, guys. So I kind of forgot how to put it back on, but I'm gonna put it back on, guys, then come back. Okay, guys. Now, if your touchpad fell off, this is how you put it back on. I kind of forgot how to do it, so I had to pause it real quick. You just put it under there, and there you go. Now, this part is kind of hard to do because you have to put this little ribbon in this small hole right here. So I'm gonna try and show you guys how to do that. This part you can use a flathead or something to try to get this little small ribbon inside this hole right here. Sorry, guys. This ribbon right here, I'm not sure if you guys can see it. You have to make it go through this hole so you could put it in this little connector. So what I usually do is try to use my finger to try to angle it perfectly so it can go through. Yeah, this part kind of sucks. Try to use a flathead to do this. Make sure you be gentle because you don't want to break anything. Just take your time, guys. Don't rush it, or you will break something. Because these parts are really fragile. Okay, guys, I'm gonna pause the video and then come back once I get this ribbon back in the hole. Okay, guys, that took a while, but I finally got this ribbon inside the hole. Now you're gonna wanna reattach it to this connector. Make sure it's all the way in there. Don't force it in there. Just be gentle with it. Make sure this little white line touches the connector. That's how you know it's all the way in there. So we pretty much have the front pieces back on. Now we have to put this little battery face. I don't know what to call this, guys. Just make sure this little hole right here is on top. There's little little things right here. It tells you where to put them at. You're gonna want to put this little thing right here and here in a small hole. And then get the screw that was in there, and you're gonna want to reattach that screw it in there. Okay, now get your battery. reattach this cord to it, this connector. Now let's test and see if the controller works. Well, I have to put the back piece back on. Hold on. Yep, it works. It just turned my PS4 back on. So now we have to put this back piece back on there. Make sure you put this little ribbon back on there too. This is the worst. Sorry guys, this is the worst setup ever. Sorry. Put this ribbon back in there. Put this ribbon, sorry guys, put this ribbon back in here. And also don't force it in there. Be, like I said before, be gentle. Because you don't want to break anything. This is for the, this ribbon is for the light bar. So, be gentle with it. Don't want to break that. Come on. Oh my God. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, I got that ribbon back in there now. Now we could have to reattach the back piece. Okay. When you put the back piece back on, make sure you put in the front piece, put in the top piece first, and then the bottom part will pop back on. Now you can put in the 4 screws back in there. Okay, once you put the screws back in there and reattach your controller, turn the game on, like Call of Duty, and see if it works. If it does work, then please smash that like button, and if this video helped you, please subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.